In the next few videos, I'll be guiding you through some of my favorite and simple breath patterns that I've found to be most helpful that you can use to support your nervous system and come back to yourself. Now, before we get all woo, I'll just say that breathing, and science backs this, is the most direct conscious way we can affect our nervous system. It's more than just our thoughts. Remember, you are your own rhythm keeper in your breath and your life. This isn't about doing it perfect. It's about gently meeting your body where it is and learning to use the breath to help guide your body and your mind where you'd like to be, one breath, one moment at a time. If at any point you feel lightheaded, uncomfortable, or finding it difficult to maintain the rhythm I suggest, just ease back. Find the rhythm that fits your needs while following the shape or style of breath I suggest. Remember, your body, your pace, your permission. Take a moment and notice how you feel before and after you practice, in your body, in your breath, in your mind. Every time you practice, you're teaching your nervous system something new, that it's possible to slow down or energize, to regulate, and to feel just a little safer in your own skin. You can return to these suggested breathing patterns anytime you need to. Now, I often say that the brain is listening to the body. It does this through all 5 senses and the 100,000 miles of nerve channels transmitting messages throughout. The body, it's listening to the heart with each beat, each electrical impulse, each pressure adjustment. So what's the heart listening to? Well, not only does it have 40,000 neurons of its own, which makes it a little brain, every time you breathe in, the heart rate increases and you stimulate your alertness, made possible through the sympathetic branch of your nervous system. Every time you breathe out, the heart rate decreases and you activate the rest and calm responses brought about through the activation of the parasympathetic branch. In other words, every time you breathe in, you activate alertness, and every time you breathe out, you activate calm responses throughout the body. This is why changing our thoughts alone doesn't work. Real change comes when you change your breath to meet your needs in any given moment. Because when you change your breath, you change your heart. And when you change your heart, you change your body. And when you change your body, you change your brain. So regardless if you've seen these breath patterns before or not, thank yourself for showing up in this moment. At the very least, together we can practice a few tricks to help activate the personal, ongoing, transformative change we all seek along our healing journeys. So let's begin. In this practice, we'll practice breathing with the diaphragm, but with a twist. Most of us stop breathing with our diaphragms within the first 5 years of our lives. It seems that by that age, on average, we begin relying too heavily on shallow and top-of-the-chest breathing, which, unfortunately, is a stress response we grow used to. A lot of people talk about belly breathing, but I find it to limit the full capacity that exists within us to breathe fully and deeply. So instead of only focusing on belly breathing, I invite you to breathe into the lower back and the side ribs. You can do this sitting or standing. Find a position where your spine feels long but not stiff. Gently place your thumbs and index fingers on your lower sides, right over the lower ribs. Let your elbows relax, your shoulders soften, and take a natural breath in and out. Just notice where the breath goes without trying to change anything yet. And now we'll begin to guide it. On your next inhale, imagine filling a jug of water from the bottom all the way to the top when you breathe in. Focus your intention on breathing into the lower back, towards your thumbs, and sideways into the ribs, and outward towards your index fingers. Inhale slowly through the nose, feeling the ribs widen and expanding to the sides and back. On your next inhale, into the ribs and back, like you're filling an inner tube of air and expanding at your lower ribs. And exhale. Feel the ribs gently draw back in, shoulders relax, jaw soften. In, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. A little longer on the exhale. 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let your breath return to normal, focusing on the diaphragm. Notice how your body feels. This kind of breathing gently activates your nervous system to know you are here. You're paying attention, you're supported, and you can breathe. And if you can breathe, well, you can choose. You can practice this virtually anytime, anywhere. Simply come back to this practice anytime you need a grounded reset. For this practice, we'll combine simple movement and breathing to wake up the spine and invite more flow throughout the nervous system. You can sit on a chair or at the edge of a couch or bed, feet flat on the floor, sitting toward the front edge so that your spine can move freely. Let your hands be placed gently on your thighs. And before we begin, remember this simple rule. When we open the chest, we inhale. When we close the chest, we exhale. So let's start with a neutral spine. Roll your shoulders forward and up to your ears, and then back and down. Once again, roll your shoulders up and back down. Once more, roll your shoulders forward, up, back, down, hold. This is your neutral position. Consider it your position of deservingness. Not slouched, not rigid, just gently upright and deserving in this moment. You belong here. On your next inhale, gently arch your back, lift your chin, lightly squeezing your shoulder blades toward the spine, and on your exhale, slowly round your spine, chin toward the chest, shoulders forward. Let the back of your body gently stretch. Repeat that a few times. Inhale, open the chest, arch gently, chest open, heart forward. Exhale, round the spine, soften the chest, let the breath pour out. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Now come back to that neutral spine for a moment. Next, we'll add the arms and a gentle twist. On your next inhale, raise both arms slowly overhead, reaching just enough to feel a stretch along your sides. On your exhale, without force, twist gently to the right, lowering your arms as you turn. One hand in front, the other behind you. Inhale once more, return to the center. Arms back overhead, lengthening. Twist to the left, dropping the arms. And back up. Inhale, arms back to center. Exhale, twist right, arms down. Inhale, arms up, center. Exhale, twist left. On your next inhale, come back to center. And exhale, let the arms float back down to your lap. Take one more natural breath in and out. Maybe add a basic cat-cow demonstrated in the earlier video. And just notice. Any warmth in your spine? Any release in your body? Any subtle lift or change in your energy? This practice is especially helpful when you feel stuck or sluggish, helping your body remember it can move, and your breath can guide that movement. In this practice, we're going to explore what I call tip-top, tip-bottom breathing, a simple pattern that builds presence and patience with your own breath, which aims to translate to presence and patience in life. Tip-top and tip-bottom breathing has to do with where you direct your pinpoint awareness. In this case, the very tip-top transition of the inhale to the exhale and the very tip-bottom of the breath from exhale to inhale. You can sit or lie down for this. First, just notice your natural breath for a moment. No need to change it, just observe. Think of the tip top as the gentle peak of your inhale, and the tip bottom as the soft landing point at the end of your exhale. We're simply going to practice a very brief pause and improve intentional awareness at each end. Inhale slowly through your nose. Allow the breath to rise from the bottom all the way to the tip top. No force, and when you get there, briefly pause, crest over, and exhale softly. Follow the breath all the way down to the tip bottom. Pause again. Inhale again, smooth, steady, all the way up. Pause at the tip top, crest over, exhale, all the way down, tip bottom. Pause, intentionally aware. In, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Crest over. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Tune in. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Let's do one more. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Let your breath return to a natural rhythm. Notice how that felt, how your attention tuned in. Breathing without awareness is like driving without awareness. Some call that highway trance. But breathing with just the slightest focus on the tip top and bottom transitions can shift you from automatic to intentional, which helps you transition from living life on autopilot to living with intentional awareness. This practice can be especially helpful when your system feels like it has to go, 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 and you have trouble settling down. Tip top, tip bottom reminds you you're allowed to pause. You're allowed to take a moment. You're allowed to be here and now. I'll walk you through 4 patterns in this next video. Consider it a sampler plate of breath practices you may consume so you can later choose the one that fits your state and nourishes you in the way you need in a given moment. In this practice, we'll explore 4 rhythmical breathing shapes: a box or square, a rectangle, an up triangle, and a down triangle. Each one has a different effect on your nervous system. You don't have to remember them all right now. Just experience them and trust your system will recall what it likes and what it needs. We'll start with box breathing. Box breathing is a 4 equal-sided breath. We inhale, we hold, we exhale, we hold. Often at a count of 4 for each side. So sit comfortably, relax those shoulders, soften your jaw. Now exhale as we practice 4 rounds. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, hold, exhale, hold. One more. hold, exhale, hold. Now return to your natural rhythm. You see, when you breathe in rhythm, you tap into your body's internal compass that has known rhythms and seasons and cycles throughout all human civilization. Box breathing is a great way you can find balance. Not too up, not too down, just rhythm. Now we'll stretch the sides of the rectangle just a bit to deepen the calm. Remember, when you inhale, that's activation. And when you exhale, that's a deactivation. So we'll inhale and exhale for 4 counts, but we'll hold for 6. We'll breathe 4 rectangle rounds. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. One more. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Return to your natural rhythm. Soften the breath. Rectangle breathing is helpful when you want to sink a little more into rest and calm. Remember, the goal here is to practice activating a more parasympathetic state of rest and calm by breathing out approximately twice as long as you breathe in. You can choose the rhythm that fits your needs best, whether that's in for 2, out 4, 4, 6, 4, 8, even lengthening your breath to something more like in 6 or 8 seconds and out for 12 or 16. At that rate, you'll breathe not more than 4 breaths in a minute, like whales and turtles, unlike the typical 25 to 30 breaths most humans average per minute. After all, just look at nature. The animals that breathe less live longer. Now let's bring in a little energy with an upregulating triangle breath. We'll use a 3 count for each phase. We'll inhale, hold, exhale. This version lightly activates the system. We'll practice 4 rounds, and you can choose your intensity or how deep you'd like to breathe in. So exhale, inhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, hold, exhale. One more. Hold, exhale. Soften the breath, return to your natural rhythm. Notice any subtle lift, energy, alertness, focus, just by holding the breath on that inhale. This is good for one of those times when you feel a bit flat, dull, or unmotivated, but don't want to spike your anxiety or consume large amounts of caffeine. You can choose the intensity and speed that works for you. What's important is that you breathe with a slight hold at the top of the breath. Next, we'll use a triangle breath pattern designed to calm and downshift. This time, we'll inhale, exhale, then hold. So exhale, inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Inhale, exhale, hold. One more. Exhale. Hold. As you let your breath return to its natural rhythm, take a moment and just check in. Which pattern felt the most natural? Which one felt the most supportive? You can always come back to choose the shape that matches what you need. A box for balance, a rectangle for deeper calm, an up triangle for gentle lift, and a down triangle for settling and resting. Remember, there's no right or wrong here. Only what's honest for your body in this moment. In this last practice, we'll focus on extended exhales, one of the most powerful tools for calming an anxious or agitated nervous system. When we lengthen the exhale, we send a direct signal of safety and downshift toward the parasympathetic state. For this, you can sit or lie down. Let your body feel supported. Sitting in that space of deservingness or resting along horizontally. We'll keep this simple. We'll inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 6 or 8. You may add an optional soft sound on the exhale if you like an ooh or an ah or an to create a gentle vibration in the throat and face. The sound of a gentle hum, in fact, helps release 7 times more nitric oxide in the body, which has antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties when practiced regularly. Not to mention, it directly stimulates and calms the vagus nerve, the nerve solely responsible for the sympathetic and parasympathetic branches of the nervous system. So let's practice. Inhale slowly through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth with a soft Inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. If you're comfortable with the extended exhale, a little bit more now. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, going to 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale with your sound, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let your breath return to whatever pace feels natural, and notice how your body feels now. You can use this practice when anxiety spikes, before bed, or any time you want to invite your nervous system into a softer state.